Enry'sh Shneeshe. With Brooke gone back home and Thomas still running his branch line, there was no tank engine to do the shunting in the big station yard. James did the bulk of it as a punishment, but sometimes he was sent out to do his share of the work, leaving Edward and the bigger tender engines to do their own shunting. That is, except Henry. Henry only did his own shunting once after Brooke left, and then never again. One evening, after pulling slow goods all day, Eunice was exhausted when she returned to the big station. She tidied her trucks away, and had just settled down in a siding for a rest. She saw Henry pull into the goods platform with a train of cattle trucks. A shunter walked up to Eunice. "We need you to take those cattle wagons away." "Henry can pull his own trucks away," objected Eunice. The shunter looked towards Henry, then back to Eunice. "This is more of a job for the primary goods engine," he said. Eunice watched aghast as Henry puffed away to the shed. She was fuming as she left the comforts of the sidings to do Henry's work for him. "Why does Henry never have to do his own shunting? Why do I have to do any shunting? I'm too long. I'm sure to bend the points all out of shape if I keep this up." She was just as cross the next morning when the yard foreman instructed her to fetch Henry's coaches for him. Henry could see how indignant she was, and it made him smile as he backed down on his train. He was feeling happy. It was a lovely Saturday morning, the sun was out, the birds were singing, and Henry was steaming nicely. "I'm feeling so well today," he said as he took his passenger train along the main line. Just before the station at the end of the line, he saw some boys standing on a bridge. "Hello," he said, whistling a greeting. The boys didn't wave, or take his number, or snap his photograph. They thought it fun to drop stones on him instead. "Oh," groaned Henry, "it's those hoodlums James told us about." Some stones scratched Henry's paintwork. Some cracked the coach windows. One hit Sid on the head while he was shoveling coal. Someone pulled the communication cord. Henry's train crawled to a stop. "They've gone and broken our glass," sobbed Dickie. Lizzie went to see if any of the passengers were hurt. Charlie pulled out the first aid box and bandaged Sid's head. None of the passengers had been hurt, but they were cross, especially when they saw what happened to Sid's head in Henry's paint. "Call the police," they shouted angrily. "We've tried that before," shied Charlie. "They can't seem to catch those kids." "Leave it to Henry and me. We'll teach them a lesson." "What will you do?" asked the passengers. "Can you keep a secret?" There was a general murmur of agreement. "Well," said Charlie with a smirk, "Henry is going to sneeze at those boys." The passengers looked confused. "Henry's got an ash ejector," Charlie explained, "so Tom had him fitted with one to see if it would help him steam better. He can sneeze soot and ash from his funnel just like we sneeze when our noses are blocked." Henry soon finished his journey, went onto the turntable, and backed down onto his train for the return trip. He found lots of people waiting on the platform. They wanted to see what would happen. Charlie looked around to make sure none of the station staff were within earshot, and then said to the passengers, "Henry's got plenty of ashes. Please keep all windows shut till we've passed the bridge." "Oh, great," groaned Dickie to himself. "First cracked windows, now I'm going to get a tarnished roof." Henry said nothing. He was feeling stuffed up. They left the station, and soon they saw the bridge in the distance. Henry could see the boys standing on it, and they all had stones. "Stand by, Henry," said Charlie. "Sneeze hard when I tell you." He judged their moment as they drew nearer. "Now!" Smoke, steam, and ashes shot from Henry's funnel and sprayed the tunnel and the boys, who ran away as black as Amsamanis. "Well done, Henry," laughed Charlie. "They won't be vandalizing trains anymore." They never did. And Henry never sneezed under bridges again. I forbade it, and issued strict instructions that his smoke box would be cleaned at the end of each journey while he was resting. Henry was glad to have taught those hoodlums a lesson, but he wasn't so happy when Eunice found out the reason why the yard workers didn't want him doing his own shunting.